I am Bob Copperstone, a former newspaper journalist, and I like to write stories that mostly deal with my childhood in the mid-20th century. During my 80-plus years, I have accumulated troves of facts and memories as I experienced them here in Wahoo and surrounding Saunders County. These vignettes are presented as true and factual to the best of my recollection, and I wish to pass them on before they blink, flicker, and go dark forever. This is Growing Up Wigwam, as told by Uncle Bob. Downtown Wahoo was my playground. The cafe was my world. Today is any school day afternoon in the 1940s. I'm a pupil at Westward Elementary School in Wahoo. Mr. Meduna, the janitor, rings the final "school's out, go home" bell. At my age, anyone whom I stand belt high to must never be called by their first names. That would be rude. His first name was Lloyd. An explosion of kids, finally freed from disciplined movement and mandatory soft voices, erupted shouting and screaming out the heavy wooden double front doors to head for home. But I don't go home, though. My house would be empty anyway. Instead, I strike out southeast on a schoolboy's typically erratic path. On the way, I investigate lots of anthills. I watch the city work crews digging a ditch. I kick a can down the road, or I play in the mud puddle or stream if I can find one. There is a weeping willow tree on a hill across from the Lutheran Church, whose elastic young branches yield perfect buggy whips. Thus armed with my whip to fight off imagined wild dog packs and vicious comic book-style enemies, and I forge ahead. Destination, downtown, and the Wigwam Cafe, owned by my parents, Hank and Irma Copperstone. These are my magic places. These are where the lights are shining, where the crowds gather, where the action is. Downtown is where the people know me, love me, and pay attention to me. These are my people. I walk the busy sidewalks, making sure to greet everyone with a polite hi, even if I don't know who they are. They know me, of course. I'm Hank and Irma's young son. "Hi, Bobby," or "Hey there, little Hank." I didn't ignore a friendly downtown greeting. That would be rude. When I show up downtown after school, I am usually on call to run errands for supplies. We need wieners, the Baronic's original recipe weenie, now called the Wahoo wiener. So I rush out the Wigwam's door, go east in the alley, and cross Linden Street to the OK Meat Market. I can almost smell my way to the store. The tangy aroma of cold cuts, sausages, and spiced pork permeate the big part of downtown, especially if the owners, the Baronic brothers, are firing up their brick and wooden smokehouse out back in the alley. While Jerry Baronic or his brother fills my white butcher paper wrapped order, I play on the huge metal weight scale standing tall in front of the count for customers' use. I am a skinny little rascal, and I don't really care what I weigh. I just want to see the arrow pointer move. If I play there too long, a white-aproned butcher barks at me to stop jumping up and down on it before I break it. The scale's are still in that locked-up, vacant building today, but the Bronics and their businesses are gone. I don't have to pay there for my order. The butcher identifies the contents in the white butcher paper package with a black crayon marker and gives me a cash register receipt that I'm supposed to put in the Wigwam's cash register so Dad could balance the books. I usually remember to do that. Next, I usually need to go to the Wahoo bakery next door of the meat market for loaves of white or rye bread, dinner rolls, or hamburger buns. I can follow my nose there too, inhaling the warm, sweet, yeasty, fresh-baked scents of goods within. There are no weight scales at the bakery to play on, but the racks of scrumptious pastries tempt me while they fill my order. Besides, if I want my weight and fortune printed on a little white card, I'd go to the penny scale at the entrance of Senior Fred Coleman's Ben Franklin dime store a few doors west of the Wigwam. I peer over the bakery counter and see Gordon Rocky Rockwell working in the kitchen amid flour dust clouds, ovens, giant food mixers, appliances, and chopping blocks. Rocky is the father of Brenda, my sister Rochelle's late good friend, and is the husband of Twyla, my mom's Pinnacle Club friend. More about the card club on another day. I am often sent to Trout's hardware store across 5th Street from Wigwam. I balk at this chore because Dad usually wants me to buy a cheap little screw or some penny-ante object. Tom Trout, one of the town's friendliest people, runs the store with his parents. He'll busily hunt down my paltry items and drop them into a tiny paper bag. I hand him some coins and apologize for such a pitifully small sale. No, Tom chides, beaming even though more brightly, assuring me that he is glad to see me and be of help. It is for this reason I try to give Trout my bigger transactions too, although I could have patronized Coast to Coast, Gamble's, Swoboda's Hardware, or the local farmer's co-op store. Imagine today having 7 hardware outlets. This according to Don Burns of the family's Gamble store. Each of them employing people who, unlike today, are paid decent wages so they don't have to take second or third jobs to support their lifestyle. I scrupulously follow small-town greeting protocols in Wahoo, but learned the hard way that our street courtesy rules might not apply in the big 3 cities, Omaha, Lincoln, and Fremont. One day when I'm old enough, at maybe 11 or 12, I solo to Lincoln on one of the smoke-belching, ancient, independently owned diesel buses that make daily round trips to and from those 3 big cities. I can't remember if I bought a ticket at the City Cafe, or, more likely, gave my coins, probably $1 in change, directly to the bus driver. The City Cafe served as kind of a depot, and the buses parked at the Broadway and 5th curb alongside the Lindley clothing store. Later, the bus stop, sign and all, was moved to the Cherney Auto Service garage, catty-cornered northeast of the courthouse. I can't remember if the sign read bus stop or bus depot. Scooter's coffee drive-thru sits on Cerney's seat now. After the swaying, lurching bus ride, I am deposited at Lincoln's huge, to me, bus depot, where I begin my odyssey of walking a few blocks toward the broad sidewalks of Lincoln's O Street and the big department stores and wonderful small shops within. I am particularly fascinated by 2 tiny magic trick shops, one on O and the other alongside the Stewart movie theater. I buy my exploding cigarette loads there, and my itching powder, car engine bombs, and assorted gimmicks that sealed my reputation around downtown Wahoo and the Wigwam as a nasty little practical joker. But I now realize that I got away with that and a lot of other shenanigans solely because I was Hank and Irma's kid. Lincoln's bustling crowds overwhelm me, and make this small-town boy an even wide-eyed and shyer. Walking down the city's broad sidewalks with my chin tucked down and my eyes shyly darting up and down, I mutter hi to everyone who looks my way, or even if they don't see me at all. I feel compelled to recite the polite hi that I never have to show in Wahoo. Some startled Lincoln pedestrians smile at me and respond, but others are taken by surprise and they blurt out a tardy hi after they had already passed me. Eventually I realize that Lincoln isn't Wahoo. No one seems to care if I say hi. I know that they can't tattle any rudeness to my mom and dad, so I eventually adopt the big city eye-averting mode, bustling purposefully through the crowd and not looking directly at anyone at all. In other words, I am big-town rude. I learned one of life's little lessons in Lincoln, and I secretly enjoy being adult-grade rude. Unavoidably, though, I believe I lost a little bit of my boyhood innocence there. To be continued.
Growing Up Wigwam is written by Bob Copperstone and produced by Chris Beatty. Everything is recorded in lovely Wahoo, Nebraska.